So that's kind of how I got started, and I took that to heart. I knew I wasn't um, as athletic as I could be at that time, so I just took things small steps, one at a time. You start with one push-up, and then you go to two, you go to three, and next thing you know, was it 3 weeks ago? I did 107 of them unbroken.
That's
So
nuts. The other thing that gets me, and I don't know if it was in your background at all, when I watch you taking you forward to the American Ninja Warrior stuff, it's the grip strength. That is just insane. I saw you doing an exercise weighted down by a couple kettlebells, and because when I watch these athletes do that when they're at that elite level, which you are, that throws me. Did you have to get courage to get to that point, or did you have grip strength beforehand?
no, no, zero grip strength beforehand. Um, Before I became a an obstacle course person, I was really just a runner because that's what I did. I ran, and that's sort of how I lost the weight and became fit. And then the next step was to build my strength. And again, it's just finding the little things that you can take as an advantage to yourself. Everybody knows their own body, right? So not everything works for everybody. Running is not for everybody. Heck, I'm gonna say it, to everybody. Running sucks, but it became necessary for me. It became part of my drug. Became part of my treatment. I still run today, even though I do predominantly strength training and obstacle course. But I build that grip strength up from, again, just like when I was talking about the push-ups, right? I started with one and I kept building. And grip strength is the same thing. I started with, holding, a 35-pound dumbbell. And now I can hold, 70-pound dumbbells for minutes at a time. You just build yourself up. Nothing comes overnight. You got to commit, and you got to be consistent. And those are the two things that I've done for the last 6.5 years. And it's a relentless pursuit, and you have to have that mindset.
I know we're reaching near the end of our time. What I wanted to make sure is we talked about making sure everybody feels the opportunity. For those who can't exercise or exercise isn't maybe their main thing, is there another level of engagement that you think is important? Because I know you go around and do inspirational talks. I go, well, I can't be an OCR. It's nice to see you doing it and nice to see marathons, but what can I do? What do you say?
Yeah, so you know what? It's all about the mindset, as I mentioned. And I always say to people, you know what? Find what moves you. It doesn't have to be running. It doesn't even have to be exercise. It could be any hobby at all. If you love doing the things that you love, don't stop doing it. Just find a different way of doing it. And I always tell people, find what moves you and then move. It could be gardening, it could be cooking, it could be sewing, it could be anything. But find what moves you in your mind, in your heart, and you keep going, and you can live a good life, and a happier life despite your situation.
And one last yes and to that, we talk about the internet age and the media age we all live in, and being, a great tool on one hand, and yet, a rabbit hole on the other we can go down. What's the importance of getting out and socializing and being around other people, be either people with Parkinson's or just, community, that getting out of isolation?
Go out there and tell your story. You just don't know who you're inspiring. People are listening. I found out, but for myself, that people out there who I didn't think were listening, and I found out through back channels that they really are. Things I say, as I mentioned, is making a difference. And everybody should be out there, especially with your close friends and family. They're going to be your circle of trust. They're going to be the people that are closest to you, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be there with you from now until the end of time, right? So by sharing your story, by sharing your experiences, it helps them better understand what you're going through, and in return, that's going to help you better in terms of your overall their understanding and what you're going through. And it's just going to it removes the elephant in the room, and it makes everybody more comfortable around everybody.
That's awesome. Thanks so much. Oh, by the way, what's your dog's name? Who we were hearing there a little while ago?
Her name is Holly, and just one quick story, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
And this relates to sort of what moves you, right? So a couple of years ago, I was running, and I kept falling over, even though as I run, and I realized it's because I was tracking objects as I run in the distance, and then when those objects passed, they my brain have a hard time tracking the next item, and then it's kind of like freezing through a doorway. That's when I would fall. But when I got Holly, I started running with her, and I trained her with the help of specialists, of course, so that she runs exactly 4 feet in front of me. Now I have something to focus on that never changes its distance, that never changes its, her speed. It's always keeping pace with me, and I don't fall, I don't trip when I run with Holly. So
Wow.
this is just something that I was saying is that I still need the running and I still do it, and I just need to find better and safer ways to do it. And adding Holly to the mix was the way to do it.
That's amazing. This won't be the last time we talk, I'm sure, Jimmy. I hope we get a meet up soon.
Of course, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Hey, Jimmy, thanks so much. We'll talk soon, and God bless, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Take care.
All right, Jimmy. For Faces of Parkinson's, this is Robert Cochran. We'll see you next time.